Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Blake Media listeners. Good morning to all the actual financial literacy listeners as well. Want to welcome you this morning to today's broadcast. And hey, I always got something good for you. And want to say, hey, got some good things going. Um, we're going to be talking to some fellow uh, uh, listeners out there, also federal workers, co-workers out there, co-business owners. And man, why is my shirt giving me that color? I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. They need to darken a little bit. But we're going to have some things coming up later in the year. I'm going to have a an event where we're going to talk about financial literacy, the book. And we're going to be talking about, we're going to play that game. We're going to have an event where we play a game that's going to take you about, talk to you about accounting, finance, and uh, accounting, finance, and investing all in one game. We're going to be able to, we're going to have like 10 games out there. We're going to have folks that's going to be monitoring the games. But it's an opportunity to learn more about personal finance, more about investing, and it's going to be in a fun environment. It's going to be in an environment where you're going to learn, and very minimum cost. Very, 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 because it's not about paying money, but it's about getting some information, and it's going to be a fraction of the cost. Because the whole idea is for the people to learn, for you can understand, so you can get some information out that's going to help you. And when you learn more, you can grow more, you can have more to do the things that you need to do. You're going to learn things that's going to help you and your family to get more engaged in life, and in all the things that you want to have for your future. And the only way for you to do that is you get more information, more knowledge. And if you don't have that chance to do it, when will you have that chance? So I'm all about educating. I'm all about giving the information, the knowledge, the wisdom out. So once you get that knowledge and information and wisdom, then you know what to do with it. Yes, I have the license to help folks that want to get help, but then there are other people out there that are licensed to do things as well. But giving that information out, I do have a group of folks that are going to get together and be able to share that information, and you'll get it uh, real world. You'll get it real heart. You'll get it real understanding. And um, I vet folks. I'm from the hood, and so you ain't right. You know what's up. So make sure you know you're going to get something that's good from people I bring to you. So with that in mind, what I'm going to share with you today is overcoming financial fear with tacit and explicit knowledge. I know sometimes, I can't help it. You get a PhD, man. These sometimes these big juicy words come out. I don't mean for them to be big juicy words. It just happens that way. But when I do it, I like to I kind of break it down, make it more sense. So it's palatable. You can eat that bad boy, you can be able to chew it up, and then bring it back out. But I give you the words because sometime down the road you'll hear them from somebody being, you know, big cheese and try to give you the big words. But at least when you hear it the second time around, you already got what they're saying. So that's my point. It may sound like it's a big juicy word, but it really ain't. It's just a word that's used in that realm, but you'll get it when you hear it. Okay, so and remember, I'm from 915 North Sticker Street in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's deep in there. But I just happen to have that knowledge, wisdom that my mama gave me, and I went through, and I do have my doctoral degree from the University of Phoenix in management and organizational leadership. I have been an investment advisor since 1994. I've done that. So with all of that, here we go. Here we go. And let's see here. We got some soft music. I'm a music guy, so got music going, got jams happening, helps them massage the mind to learn. Uh, where I got that from? I just like it. Okay, so here we are. We're talking about overcoming financial fear, and we're going back to the model. Always start from the model because that's what it is. You know, models give you that figure, that picture, that image to you for you to always think back to, and you can see this model. So you already looking, you already see it. You know that's the knowledge that comes in. You already know the middle. You have the actions, the action steps that need to have. You got stewardship, money basic, you have investing, you have borrowing, and protection. Those are the stages that we have to always look at and on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual or annual basis, right? Something that we continually look at on all times. Now, within that model, we have our shopping cart, which is the behavior model. So you have the behavior model, which looks at each stage of the action model in the middle. So you have economic actions. You want to make sure the numbers are adding up. The financial effect, if the answers to the first question uh, are adding up the money, and then if you're looking at, man, my eyes are small. And then you're also looking at how, if it's making the right financial effect, if there's anything monetarily flawed, if there's the first three answers are flawed in some way, and then if there's anything that's unrealistic in the first three answers, if you look at anything that's unrealistic, you think you're going to be a millionaire next week? No. Wealth is systematically accumulate over time. It's not going to happen overnight. And then if you're looking at recreating it, can you do it? Can your next the next in line, your family members, are they doing what you've taught them to do? And not only that, if those that are immediately close to you, can those that are in your extended family, your friends, family, the extended uh, groups could be your coworkers, could be those in your sphere of influence. Are they exceeding the way you're exceeding? Is that teaching? your clients' clients. So they're exceeding in their financial picture as well. So you want to have it, you want to recreate it, not just you. You want to recreate that learning process. You talk to your kids, so they're teaching it to their friends, sharing it with their friends, and their friends having that success as well. So you want to look at the whole thing, recreate the experience, not just apply it, recreate it. Okay. All right. So with that, we're going to move forward, and we're looking at now how to overcome some of that fear. Sometimes it's difficult sometimes to see overcoming that fear, and so uh, fear can be um, you know relentless. It results in physical aspects of you. It can be really get you physically down, mentally down. It can affect your well being as a whole when you're dealing with finances. It can be challenging, and so there's like 5 stages or 5 steps that I see that we could use to help get over that. One thing is to identify the fear. You got to take some time to think about what exactly are you afraid of about your finances. So why am I afraid of this thing? Is it not have enough money to cover the basic needs? Uh, do you have a fear of going into debt? You have a fear of losing your job or your income source? So you got to identify what that fear is. I'm saying, so find out which one it is. Identify that fear. Find out which one it is, and then step two, you got to educate yourself. Be more about educate yourself more about finances. Be more confident. Feel about how you can manage your money. There's resources online, podcasts like we're doing right now. YouTube channels teach you about now. Budgeting is one aspect of it, but budgeting is not the only aspect of it, because there's people that budget, but then in the third step, I talk about defining your spending pattern. Spending pattern refers to the actual behavior of an individual regarding how they spend their money, because not everybody operates off of a budget. How do you spend your money? What type of purchase do you make? How frequent do you make these purchases? And how you look at that trend over time. And that's where that spending pattern and what we just talked about, those looking at those 5 action items, you're looking at those items on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, annual basis, and to see how you and what you're doing in that action model is you're looking to correct and detect any errors in your thinking. In the class before, we were talking about uh, mental mental accounting. We're looking at, if you're looking at things, put them in particular buckets and everything. If you're spending that way, or if you're saying, okay, I'm going to buy this, that, the other, defining how your spending is. So you got to understand defining that spending pattern, and then at that, then you start small. You got to overcome that fear. So say, and you want to tackle paying off one debt first, or you want to talk about saving from one goal first. So if you are when you start small, you tackle one objective first. Once you achieve that objective, you can start to the next one. You can't take everything all on at once, because you can't do everything at one time. One at a time, one at a time, one at a time. You just start your little a pecking order of what you need to tackle. Once you achieve that goal, that debt, so you pay that one debt off, you can add what you will pay that one debt to the second debt, and you can pay that one off. It's all it's all part of a plan that you have to put in place, and all the process that you put in place to get things going. And then as you start, along with that, you need to understand that some you might not be able to do it all on your own, and you shouldn't try to do it all on your own. All the greatest sports, all the sporting greatest and experts out there, they all had coaches. They all had experts that were pouring into their life, into their careers, into their livelihoods to make themselves get better. You heard a story about Michael Jordan. He had a coach. Uh, um, Mike Tyson. He had folks speaking into his life about boxing. Where he hitting and things like that. I have a coach. I have two mentors in my life that I still listen to today. I may not be there every day in that face, but when they talk, I listen. I hear. And so you have to have someone. My past Dr. Craig would say, so you need someone above you to pull you because they lead you. You need people behind you to push you because they need you, because you have that in your life. So you got to have someone ahead of you just pulling you up so that you can get that understanding. You have someone behind you pushing you, saying, "Yeah, okay, keep going, man, because I'm watching you." So you need that in your life. So financially, you need someone that says, "Okay," that knows a little bit more than you. It says, "Okay, this is where I've been. This is where I've done. How I've done it." Someone that you trust. Someone that you trust. Because you don't want to share something with someone, and next thing you know, half the people in the neighborhood know that you're having issues. And how do you know you can trust that person? When that person, someone shares something with that person, and then told 10 other people. You've heard those people. They've talked to someone else, and they told 12 other folks about their business. Find somebody, could be a family member, could be a friend, could be uh, um, could be a neighbor, someone in your life that you can trust this person with your goods. You want to be able to trust. You can trust the person. So seek help. So identify your fear, educate yourself, define your spending patterns, start small, and seek support. And so when you look at it in the cycle, because I always like to look at things in a cycle, because you want to correct and detect any errors in your thinking, any errors in your behavior. And so when you look at it in the cycle, for instance, so you identify it, educate yourself, define your spending pattern, start small, and then seek support. That's a continuous cycle. Uh, you look at things as a cycle because there's we'll talk about this subject later, but there's single loop learning, and double loop learning. Single loop is when you're doing it in the steps. Double loop is when you're doing it in the cycle and you're recreating that process. You're learning that process, and you're looking to correct and detect errors each time as you go through that cycle. So when you're cycling through, you're correcting things, you're detecting things, you're seeing where you may have come short, where you may have missed the mark a little bit, where you could have done a little better, or not necessarily a little better, where you could have come up some in your thinking and what you've done. So you overcome that fear, and because fear is what they say is false evidence being real. But I like to say fear is facing every adversity rapidly. That's what fear is. You face every adversity rapidly. As soon as it comes up, you face it. It's out of the way. Don't wait around to it. Don't fester in it. You face every adversity rapidly. Don't no, it comes up, knock it down. Comes up, okay, I'm gonna get this done. Knock it down. Don't let it get you down. Don't let nothing adverse get you down. You just got to face that thing, and rapid depends on you. You could knock it down a day, could knock it down a month, knock it down in a year, but you take care of it one way or another. All right, so that's overcoming fear. That's it. Next one is tacit and explicit knowledge. Not they're not big words, but just words. That's how you look at it. Yeah. Sometimes people use they use words that um, tend to confuse or uh, may confuse. But you look at it, tacit knowledge is the thing that's on top. I mean, explicit knowledge is on top. Tacit knowledge is the thing that's on the bottom, that's solid. That's like you show the iceberg there. On the top, you may not see as much, but on the bottom, that is the core element of that iceberg. It's down the bottom. So the tacit knowledge is the knowledge is difficult to express in words or form of language. So example of tacit knowledge could be the skills, it could be the expertise, it could be the belief, So um, tacit knowledge could be it could be like codifying words. It could also be knowledge that is deeply ingrained in uh, an individual in their mind. It's, tacit knowledge could also be difficult to transfer because it's knowledge that includes skill, expertise, and personal belief. So, I mean, that requires some training. Requires training to get that. You know, all my schooling is like 12 years of educational level schooling, and it's I mean, I can't. You really can't transfer to that. The amount of reading, research, and writing that I did. Um, I can do it like that. I can give me a subject and I can research and write about it because it's ingrained in me. But to take what I know about reading, writing, and research, I can't just transfer that to someone else because it takes some time. Um, it, it's it's a gift that God gave me to be able to do that, and I thank Him for it. But it's not an easy thing for everyone. So it's difficult to transfer understanding those skills, that expertise, and having that personal belief that I have to someone else. So that's in a sense that tacit knowledge. Whereas explicit knowledge um, is expressed in words, formal language. Explicit knowledge includes facts, theories, and procedures. Explicit knowledge also is found in books, manuals, and other forms of documentation. So you can find in the books and documentation and manuals um, the rules and procedures. So it's explicit there. Now it's essential that you need both because in many areas in life, uh, like professions like medicine, law, engineering, tacit is more acquired through the personal experience and observation, which is essential to making decisions. And explicit, you get the manuals help you to do both. Like firefighting, there's some things. Well, I was a firefighter. Firefighter, there's some things that you do because you were trained to do, and that's you can't forget that. But then there's the explicit side of it that it's declarative information that you have to do based on where you're at. So it's understanding there's a book way and a real world way of doing things, and you have to be able to define the difference between the two. And you got to know that there's a book way and a real world way of doing things, and understand you have to honor them both. You can't say this way is the correct way and this is the wrong way. And you can't say this is the correct way and this is the wrong way. You have to know that those two ways exist and use them as you progress in life. Like people say, well, oh, people talk about money. Money is this, money is that. Okay, well, what is money made of? They don't know what money is made of. What does money look like? And then you show them different types of money, and they get stuck. Yeah. Each society has their own version of money. What money are you talking about? Right. So it's not money you're concerned with. You're concerned about creating wealth. Different concept, different thinking. So that's why when I share what I share with families, I talk about is about creating wealth. And when we're talking about creating financial literacy is gaining access to economic information and making use of the concept. But what we want to create is a financially capable person. So that person has the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence to be aware of financial opportunities. That somebody that's financially capable. You're you have the knowledge, skills, and confidence, and the awareness of financial opportunities, and you know where to go for the help. You know where to go. You know you need help. You don't just sit down and wallow in your own thoughts and say, "Oh, I can do this on my own." No, you know where to go, and you take action to improve your financial well-being. You don't sit down and try to figure it out on your own. You know where to go to improve your financial well-being, to enable go to the enabling environment where it's conducive to building and promoting and acquiring more skills to get financially sound. You know where to go. You know exactly where you're going to go, how you're going to do it, where you're going to get it from. You don't sit around trying to figure it out on your own by yourself. You know, that's a financially capable person. Financial literacy is one side of it. Being a financially capable person is the other side. Those two is where you go from one end to the other. That's the objective of financial literacy. Gaining access to economic information and making use of those concepts so you can become a more financially capable person. So when someone says, "Hey, y'all got financial literacy," okay, where you going with it? That's the key to the whole thing. All right. So with that, this picture here I always show this is delayed gratification, right? You would wait, plant your seed, give it some time, and you reap the harvest. Our model again. This is the decision model. Knowledge changes your behavior. These are the behaviors that here in the middle that we want to measure, engage all the time, correct and detect. This is the shopping cart. We take the shopping cart and go to each stage of the action model. Some of my reference material that I use to create the things we shared today. My contact information. You can kind of screenshot that and you'll see my website, Zoom meeting book details, and my personal motto: follow one course until you are successful. That's why I've been licensed for 29 years with one company, just one. With my degree, my experience, I could have went to several different companies to get licensed, but it's not about the money. It's creating financially capable people, clients. That's what I'm about. Not going from this company to that company, chasing money. I got money. I'm not about that. I'm about helping God's people. So with that, this has been Dr. Joe Blake with Blake Media, where we help you get your point across, as well as the Actionable Financial Literacy Center, where we help you get your financial point across. And I hope you gained some information and insight from today's broadcast. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Same bat channel, same bat chime. And we'll see you guys next week.